Hi, welcome to the Belly Brain Connection. I'm Hannah Winans. I'm a certified functional nutrition counselor, and I'm on a mission to help educate people about the connection between their gut health and mental well-being. Thank you so much for tuning in. I believe that our gut health is a cornerstone to our overall health, and when we nourish our bodies, we nourish our minds. Today is episode 9, and I'm so glad that you're back. We're going to cover the book Supergut, written by Dr. William Davis. And I love this book. It's got some really great ideas for how to make yogurt with specific bacterial strains that can help certain conditions. So I talked a little bit about that last week, and I've actually made this yogurt, and I wanted to share with you my results and a little bit more about how fun it is and really all things gut health, and then also SIBO related, which is small intestinal bacteria overgrowth, which I had and Dr. Davis talks about in this book. And I also wanted to share with you a few of the things that I do every day or that I eat every day that help my gut microbiome and help to get my probiotics in. A few of you have reached out to me asking, well, what are you doing yourself that's easy that we can also do? And I realized I hadn't really shared that with you all. So for me, I love to start my day with yogurt, and I actually go back and forth between Greek yogurt, and I found a really delicious coconut yogurt at Wild Berries here in Humboldt County, and it's called Cocoa June. It's a little bit of it's pricey, but it's worth it, I think. And one carton, you don't need to eat a ton of yogurt. One carton will last you a week. But I alternate between Greek and coconut yogurt, and I include in that frozen berries, and those would be blueberries, organic from Costco. I also found a really good 3-berry blend from Costco that I like that's organic, and that's kind of fun because you get a little more diverse in the 3 berries, and you get that vitamin C in from the strawberries, which we talked about last episode, is one of those episodes as being a really good superfood. And chia seeds, I always incorporate chia seeds in this, and I usually have chia seeds in my fridge soaking. It's kind of like that chia seed pudding that I just make with water and chia seeds and keep them there. Chia seeds are powerful superfood and really gut healthy, have great fiber in them, keeps everything moving. So a spoonful of chia seeds on there. And then also I top that with raw organic walnuts. And that we know that walnuts are really good belly brain food. So really great for your brain with all those omega fats in there. So that's my kind of Super Bowl, super gut food that I start out with every day. And then I also I love Paleo Valley. There's a company, Paleo Valley, that makes fermented beef sticks, and they're pasture raised, organic, grass fed. I really like what this company is doing. I know not everybody listening eats meat. I do, and I love their beef sticks. And it's another easy way for me to get a fermented food in. And we know that fermented foods are packed with all kinds of belly loving stuff. So I start with my yogurt and my beef sticks. There's 2 things that I get in every day right out the gate. And, I have to keep it simple because I don't know what's coming at me. I'm a realtor. I'm a full-time realtor, and every day is different. So, but if I have my kind of my non-negotiables that I make sure are always on standby, then at the very least, I know I'm getting those 3 things in. The third thing being sauerkraut. So sauerkraut, I found a great one that I love at Costco. It's called Wild Brine, I think. It's a big container of it, and I just keep that in the fridge. I throw sauerkraut on everything. So at night, if I'm just having a salad, I throw my sauerkraut on it. I put it on chili. I put it on stew. I mean, I'll just eat it by the spoonful out of the fridge. So that's something that I make sure I always have on hand. Kimchi is really great too. I like sauerkraut just because I feel like it's maybe a little more versatile because I can throw it on everything, but I know people who like kimchi love kimchi. So those are 3 things that I'm getting in every day. There's a lot more out there that you can incorporate into your diet. I really want to get into fermented foods, and I want to start making them. So that'll be something that we cover down the road. In fact, in Supergut, in that book, he's got some fermented food recipes that I want to try. But yeah, I like to keep it simple. You can also take a probiotic. For me, I find that my body likes it when I get probiotics directly from my food. When I've tried to take probiotics in the past, they kind of just, I don't do well with them. So, but again, everybody's different. Everybody's got a different gut microbiome. And what I can tolerate, you might not be able to, and vice versa. So those are my 3 easy things. I also want to thank everybody who's been reaching out. It's funny when I hop online here, there's times that I'm like, is anybody even listening? And honestly, this is a purpose project of mine and I enjoy doing it, but it's a lot of work. And it's been great because even though I'll record a podcast and then I'll look to see on my YouTube channel, like, oh, I've got 12 subscribers, that's great. But, I have 2 likes on my Instagram post. Is anybody listening? And it can be a little bit discouraging, but then I'll get these calls and these texts from people out there who are listening, and they're sending me photos of their kitchen counters covered in healthy foods and pictures of the book that they just bought that I recommended. And that's thrilling to me because that's what this is all about, right? I just want to kind of build a community of people who are into this. And somebody was asking me, well, do you consider yourself an influencer? And I was like, oh, I didn't really think of myself that way. But then I thought, well, maybe I am. And maybe all of you are too, right? So a lot of the people who are reaching out to me, their moms, their grandmas, they have a lot of say and a lot of influence on their family members on what they're eating and the foods that they're bringing into their homes. And so I thought, maybe I'm an influencer. Maybe you're an influencer in the best of ways, right? In a way that we really can help people. So thank you again for reaching out. And please, if you're listening, please like and subscribe and comment and just let me know you're out there, because the more I know about who's listening, the more I can tailor this content to my audience. Okay, thanks. All right, Supergut. So this book, I'll read to you a little praise about this book from Dr. Mark Hyman, who is a health hero that I follow. And I've recommended some of his books as well. This is what he says about it. Unlike other books on the microbiome, Dr. Davis has taken the conversation several steps further by showing how lost microbes can be restored and how an epidemic of overgrowth of undesirable species can be pushed back with often spectacular results. He packs the book with specific strategies and recipes so that the reader is well equipped to regain health, vigor, even youthfulness. And he's right. There's so much information in here and so many tips on how to get not just your gut healthy, but your whole body healthy. A little bit about Dr. Davis. He is a renowned preventative cardiologist. He also wrote the book Wheat Belly, which is a New York Times bestseller. I haven't read that book yet. I've heard amazing things about it. He wrote some additional books that kind of followed Wheat Belly, but he is a graduate of the St. Louis University School of Medicine with training in internal medicine and cardiovascular disease and an advanced training in angioplasty at the Case Western Reserve University Hospitals, where he also served as director of the Cardiovascular Fellowship and assistant professor of medicine. Interesting that he is a preventative cardiologist, yet he writes a book all about gut health. Are we seeing the connection? I think we are. I think by episode 9, we are seeing the connection. So in the Supergut, what I like about this book is that he's kind of funny. And so there's a lot of science in here, but he's got a good sense of humor about it, and it's relatable. And I think some of the other books I've recommended have been really content heavy. This has a lot of great content, but also he sets it up in a way that it makes you want to read more, which I really like. Some of his chapters are The Bowel Blues and Ghosts of Microbes Past and Mind Your Mucus, because your mucus lining is very important in your gut. And when that's not working the way it's supposed to be, all kinds of things are sneaking through that gut barrier. We'll get into another show, but that's really important. And there's a lot of things that are disrupting that. SIBO, small intestinal bacteria overgrowth, which he claims or he suggests that a lot of people have and don't even know it. It's something that I had and didn't know it until I met with my naturopath. But the actual conquering my SIBO was what got me started on this whole gut health adventure that I'm on. So there's a lot of information about SIBO in here and things to look out for that might be indicators that you have it and things that can cause it, and then also things that can fix it. So he does a 4-week program on building your own supergut. And in that, of course, it starts with switching up your diet, cutting out the sugar, cutting out things that are gut disruptors, even things like tapering down on things like NSAIDs and acetaminophen. A lot of the medicines that we're taking are gut disruptors. And a lot of people have to take them, but if you're aware that they're a gut disruptor and you can do the things to bring in the gut defenders, right, then maybe that can really help you in your overall health. But he covers psychobiotics, which is something that, we're going to dive into that. That is, there's certain probiotics that strains that actually, and we know that gut-brain connection, but they're called psychobiotics, and it might be the next frontier in the probiotic world is these companies that are developing these psychobiotics for certain probiotics targeted to make changes in the brain. So that's pretty exciting. He talks about how we are missing a lot of the bacteria the ancient bacteria that we really need, and how a lot of us just have a lot of gut dysbiosis, right? We don't have enough of the good bacteria. We have too much of the bad bacteria that's sneaking in there, and that's what's kind of flaring up our systems. So in this book, there's yogurt recipes that are great. So, and I've tried these out. There's one certain bacteria that he claims a lot of us are missing and we've kind of lost over the centuries, and that is Lactobacillus reuteri. Reuteri is spelled Reuteri, and he calls it the star of the world of microbes. He calls it the love bug. And the reason why he calls it the love bug is that L-Reuteri, which is what we're calling it for short, it triggers the release of oxytocin. So when you restore the L-Reuteri in your body, that helps to trigger the release of oxytocin from the brain. And that's our oxytocin is our love connection hormone. And so I thought that was really interesting. It's also L-Reuteri restoring that bacteria has really good health or overall health benefits, but skin benefits, helps with sleep. So he's got a recipe for how to make L-Reuteri yogurt. And in making yogurt, if you've never done it before, it's really simple. You just buy a yogurt maker, which I bought from Amazon. I'll link it in somewhere on my website. But I bought it from Amazon. I think it was maybe like $60. It was called the Ultimate Yogurt Maker. And the recipe that he has for that, it's basically just 4 ingredients. Super, super easy. And you combine the ingredients, you put them in your yogurt maker, and then he recommends that they cook for 36 hours. Be careful when you time that out, because I ended up having to take mine off because you don't want to cook it longer than 36 hours at 11 o'clock at night. And did not think that one through. So time it right. But it's super easy to make. And the first time I tried it, I was actually pretty surprised. It definitely was like yogurt. I mean, I was a little nervous eating it at first because I just thought I just fermented something with bacteria on my counter for 36 hours. I hope it's safe. So I was a little bit nervous about it, but it was fine. You know, it's it's not like the store-bought yogurt, but it was good enough to where I could eat it and throw my berries in it, and it was fine. And for me, it was great. I mean, my gut's been in a pretty good shape for a while now, so it's not that I noticed a huge difference, but my husband has agreed to try it out because we want to tackle some sleep and skin issues. And every time I'm reading about SIBO and gut health dysbiosis, eczema, skin problems, rashes, all seems to come up. And this yogurt's supposed to really kind of help treat that. So we're going to try it for 2 weeks, and then I'm going to have him on, and he's going to give a review of the yogurt. But yeah, yogurt's super fun to make. Get the kids involved. It's a science experiment, right? You want to follow the instructions the first time exactly how they are in this book. If you're not doing dairy, there are recipes. There's a way to make coconut yogurt, and I don't think it's in his book, but I think he's got it online somewhere, so I'll see if I can post it. It sounds like it's a little bit trickier to make. In this recipe that he has, he suggests organic half and half, and that's how I did it, and it's super easy. But you have to experiment a little bit. But like I said, it's really fun, and the more you read the book and really understand about these different strains of bacteria, the more you're going to want to get that L-Reuteri in your body, get that love bug in there. So, gosh, I'm almost out of time, and there's so much more in this book that's helpful. He talks about I'm trying to keep it short. Gosh, well, you're just gonna have to read the book. I don't know what else to tell you under 15 minutes. I hope I gave you enough information that gets you interested in it, and I'll link it to thebellybrain.com on New This Week on the website. And I think that's it. So we'll see you next week. But Supergut, Dr. Davis, highly recommend. Make that yogurt. We'll learn more about fermented foods. He's got fermented food recipes in this book too. That's another thing we'll tackle down the road. I just want to thank you for being here again. Have a good week. Bye.